everyone. So it's 11:12. I was aiming for 11:11, but I already called in Reiki energy for all the people watching that are open to receiving. Just hopped out of the shower, so kind of scrambling. So I also went into the Akashic record. So same thing, anyone that would like messages, you can just let me know. Let me know what you have going on. I'm working with my Moonology Oracle cards as well. So if you're curious to know, it's by Yasmin Boland. And again, if you're hopping on, just say hello. I want to make sure everybody can hear me okay, because yesterday when I went to go do my live, I had my headphones in and you could only hear like certain things that I was saying. It would be really loud and then really quiet again. So again, if you're entering this space, welcome. We're going to do a little grounding here as well. I just want to show you guys how I do a general session anyway. It's a little different in a group setting, but when you do get a private one-on-one session with me, it's similar. So I'm going to pull up a couple cards, and this is what we're going to kind of do our little grounding exercise on, okay? And it says, your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. So for people that don't know, if you like and share any of my posts between now and the 2nd of March, when the new moon comes in at 6:45, hopefully we'll cut it off around 6:30. But if you like and share any of my posts, so you have to like and share the post, then you comment that you liked and shared, or you can just say like, did it, or whatever. And then I'm going to send you the link for the new moon ritual that I'm going to be doing at 6:45 on March 2nd. So you can participate through Zoom with me, and we can kind of clear anything that you have happening. We'll be doing a ritual, and that will be helpful for people. So when we go into your hard work is paying off with this new moon energy, we're just going to clear anything that we have happening right now here in this space. So if you close your eyes and you think about one thing that you have that's really bothering you right now. For me, my stomach was really, really bothering me before I came on here. So I'm picking my stomach because I knew that there was someone on here that might have something going on stomach-wise. So that's my pick. So what are you clearing? And as you close your eyes, just visualize that area of your body or that situation melting into the earth. And the way we do that is by connecting to the earth below us. Okay. And noticing how your energy changes when you focus on what's causing an issue for you. So you're creating awareness. And then you're shifting the energy over to the earth. So if you have socks on, maybe take your socks off. And also see the energy moving down into the earth. And again, you're going to notice something. It might feel lighter. It might feel more intense. That's okay. Morning, sure. Loved one, Heather says, okay, did it. Thank you, Isabel. So yes. So then I'll send you the link for the new moon ritual, which is awesome. So thank you. I would like a card. All right. So again, just as we're connecting to your hard work is paying off, that's just allowing yourself to come into a relaxed state, especially where we're working on receiving. And we're also creating more awareness of what we have going on. So you can also share in the comments what that thing is that you're clearing, because I can amplify that for you. But by you also trusting that you can get the start on is really helpful as well, just by earthing yourself. So something tells me we needed this. And then the other area I have a lot of stuck energy is my back. It was like really intense. So feel free to let me know as well if you have anything going on stomach-wise or back-wise. And I also feel like that what's coming up for people is that they might have, so continue to ground yourself, they might have fear around becoming resentful of people. Fear of resentment. I'm not used to hearing a fear around resentment. I'm used to people having resentment not being aware that they're resentful, we become aware that there's resentment and then we clear it. But I'm actually getting that there's someone watching, it might be on the replay, but that they have a fear of becoming resentful. And if you've ever been resentful in the past, it makes sense why you might be fearful that it's going to repeat itself, that pattern, right? So let me know if that connects to anybody. Clearing this sickness, low immune system right now. Okay. So I'm sure that this sickness in the low immune system, you might feel something in your body. I'd love to hear where you're feeling that in your body. But your hard work is paying off, Capricorn. So the other thing that's coming up for the group in general is Capricorns are, I'm not going to say that they're stubborn, but I would also get you now to focus on what you're doing right in your life, okay? So what is going right in your life, and just share. Because we're going to emphasize on creating structure and patterns in terms of what's going right, because we want to stay on that track. And if we don't focus on those things, we're going to feel like we're off our track or we're off our path, right? So for instance, sickness is a perfect one. Oh my God, I'm sick, I'm off my path. Whereas it's like, okay, you know, is this helping me? Is this teaching me? Right? So I actually posted right before, not right before I came on here, but an hour ago or so, I posted my something from a year ago about my rose oil and my bath soaks. And then I'm like, even though I'm not currently selling these specific things, I do have some rose oil left, but I'm not continuing to sell those things. I realized by creating those products that it was actually there to help me in terms of my self-care and how, when I'm using these things in the bath, how good I feel and how I'm starting to do the rituals in the bathtub that I was teaching other people, and how to work more with water, and also how soft my skin feels. And then also the element of roses and love for ourselves and love for myself. So that's kind of what I'm getting you guys to switch your mindset over. So I'd love to hear if you think about this negative thing that you're clearing. So for me, stomach and back. And as I learn how to ground and teach myself how to do that, we're going to shift over to what is going right. So one thing that is going right is like my legs feel stronger than they've ever felt. We'll just like kind of stay on that theme of the physical body. And I'm in my heart space more than I've ever been. Okay, this is just an example, but my legs are strong because I've been doing my yoga practice. And that makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like I can do anything. So what are some more benefits that are coming from having these things? Being in my heart space allows me to give freely, like I'm doing right now, and not be resentful, right? As that's coming up. I do have stomach problems with all the antibiotics I've been on in the past few months. Work is going very well and mentally doing good despite it all. Okay, so I love that. So that's just shifting over to one thing we're doing is I'm teaching you how to ground. So to identify with something and then pull the energy down, because it will lessen. Because a lot of it is, I don't want to say a lot of it is mental, but it's what we're choosing to continue to focus on. That energy will amplify if it's negative, and then you feel like you're never getting better, right? So I'm glad that you were able to connect that there was some stomach stuff going on, because that's exactly what it feels like, okay, for me as I connect. So it's really helpful. We can create that dialogue. So thanks so much for sharing. And I love that you're focusing on mentally doing well, because to me that's telling me that you're thinking in positive ways. Given your circumstances, you're able to change your thought process, and that tells me that you've been practicing that, which is great. So for people that are new to me or anything that I'm talking about, a big thing is we're working with learning how to shift energy in our physical bodies, in our energy centers, by, yes, me doing practices with you, I'm not doing it for you, you're doing it with me. So if you're not practicing, that's unfortunate because you want to get on board with it. And then also I'm helping you kind of tweak a couple things in terms of like going deeper into what emotionally is maybe underneath something, okay? But continue to practice what I was just suggesting is what is going right, what do you have, what are you grateful for, what do you want to continue doing? Because where we're coming up into this new moon, and as I said, if you like and share and then comment that you did that on any of my posts, then you can join us for the Zoom new moon ritual and healing event that I'm doing at 6:45. Okay, I wanted to share that again because as we're coming into this, we want to be aware of where we want to be, right? Instead of being like, I need to change. It's like, well, I'm actually doing a lot of the right things, right? So if you're drinking water, if you're eating breakfast, if you watch my needs versus wants video that I did, that shifted my mindset as well. So this helps me also. Okay, so we are going to get into our card pulls. So again, if you're hopping on, you're receiving Reiki. If you're saying yes, we're also going to do some Theta healing. And I also went into the Akashic record, so you're in that space as well. And this is a great time to ask specific questions when we go into the records. And it's also a great time for healing past, present, and future. Okay, so if there's anything that's coming up for you that I feel called to, you can get specific. But I want to pick, today I want to not go in order. I want to pick energy-wise what feels the strongest. So if it's just one person, that's okay. But that's kind of what I was getting today. If you've been watching, this is my third day of doing this in a row, and I've done it a little different every time. And again, for people that don't know me, every time you work with me, it's a little different. So I am creating structure, which is great, so you guys can understand that. But structure with a twist, okay? Every day is new, so like I'm gonna pull out different things because nothing is ever the same, right? And you might be a person who doesn't like change. This is probably going to resonate with someone, and that's okay. The last couple of days I've been talking about do things in your own divine timing. Do things when you're ready to do them. So again, if you're hopping on and you're like, I don't want to ask a question because maybe she'll pressure me into like coming to this thing or pressure me into buying something, whatever it is. As I was just saying, I'm doing this to support people, to help them grow in the now, whatever that looks like and feels like for you. If I feel guided towards like reaching out to you or that sort of thing, just trust that there's a reason for that, no matter what it is, okay? Because again, I was putting this in my post that I just did. Sometimes I don't know what's going to happen. You probably don't either. And so when you can trust those signs and symbols that are coming through when we get natural urges to do something, or you choose a certain word, or when I'm doing these exercises, you feel something in your body, just to really trust that in the moment. That's what's coming up for people. Because a lot of times things make sense like way later. So it could be 2 years from now where this makes sense to you. So when you go into my YouTube channel and you subscribe and you watch some of my videos, maybe my grief ceremony that's really supportive for the month of March specifically, just trust that when you watch that, and you watch that in a month after that, it's going to be completely different for you when you receive the Theta healing downloads or when you receive the Reiki. So, time is endless, right? And possibilities are as well. And I also did a crystal video yesterday with green aventurine. That's coming up for someone specifically because it really attracts opportunity, and I feel like that's what people need right now. So Isabel, what is messages for me? No problem. So Isabel, we're going to go straight into the stomach where you were talking about antibiotics, being on antibiotics and that bothering you, okay? So when we go into your energy, I get this like feeling actually in here, okay? And it almost feels like, and I had a dream last night where I felt like I couldn't really breathe. And before I came on here, I was also feeling a little bit of a shortness of breath. And so this is where like a personal session would be way better because I don't want to give too many details because it's your personal stuff, right? So I'm not going to go into exactly what's going on because I would share that with you in that private setting, which I think is important. But all I'll say for you is it's more like heart chakra and throat chakra. So that's what happens, guys, when it comes to chakras and energy is we might feel it in the stomach, but it's actually affecting another part of our body. And until somebody else sometimes comes in and helps us notice that, then we might not be able to like completely deal with the issue, as I said, if you don't understand the layer of it, okay? So yes, you need to do your work. You need to identify that there's something going on. And then the other person that comes in, you can kind of work together with them and resolve it, right? So you don't have to do things alone. So that's what you're getting, Isabel. Meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. So that's the new moon that you're going to be tuning into with me. So please make sure when you come into that new moon ritual that you bring just a notebook and a piece of paper, notebook, pen, piece of paper, whatever it is. And you bring in like some type of healing scent. And I'm getting a candle as well. And it might be, I sell healing candles as well. I would probably put a little crystals and some nice scents in there for you. But the energy of like scent right now feels really important. Sometimes when we're not feeling well, there's some things that just kind of throw us off. But then there are on the positive side, there are nice scents that can be really healing and allow that energy to start absorbing into you, okay? So something to pay closer attention to. So would you like to clear and release any stuck or stubborn, stale, frozen trauma on all 4 levels, on a past life, on a genetic life, on a soul core level, on a historical level? Let go of any of that energy that might be lingering in your heart or throat, and as a result affecting your lower chakras, probably all of them. And let's replace that with feeling safe to open up spiritually, to living in the moment and accepting the freedom that comes from living in that present state. If so, just say yes. So anyone that wants that. Okay, and I'm getting that you might not understand what that means, Isabel, specifically, but do you want to explain any confusion that you might have going on based on what I just said? What might confuse you around what I was just saying? What might we need clarity on? I'd love to hear. You're welcome, Isabel. I've been lighting up a lot of incense lately. Yes, because your intuition is telling you to do that. So that is something that you are doing right, and you want to pat yourself on the back for and get confirmation with that, right? So, like a Palo Santo, I sell Palo Santo sprays. I sell Palo Santo sticks. I think lighting a Palo Santo stick would be positive for you, and also. Like rose essential oil feels really good. Okay, so I can, if you're interested in products, I can give you more information about that, or I can just do a video that is just general for other people as well to help a little bit more with anything they might feel in relation to this. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you're not saying you need clarity on anything, and that's okay. So Kondo, we'll go into you then. So thank you so much, Isabel. We're still focusing on your energy as well. So if you come on, guys, and you still have some stuff going on, just mention what that is, okay? I'm getting a lot of like kind of weirdness going on over here, and that's the side of needing to nurture and not trusting as well. So you might feel like you want to help everybody else, but you're not helping yourself. Right? So what are you doing for you? You might be like a really good friend, but if you were to treat yourself like a friend, are you giving back to yourself? Are you buying yourself flowers? Are you buying yourself the essential oils that you want? Because I guarantee you, if you had a friend that wanted those things, you would probably give that to them, right? So keep that in mind about the balancing of nurturing yourself as well, treating yourself the way you deserve to be treated. Especially where we're talking about being in the present. It takes a lot of work, I feel, to be in the present because there's so much mindfulness, as we just had that meditate and contemplate card. And if you didn't watch the weekly reading for the 28th of February, you might want to go on and watch that, because that meditate and contemplate card also came up. So yeah. Okay, so Kondo. A new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. Okay, so again, we're getting 2 cards that are new moons. So I already discussed how you can get into my new moon ritual, so I'm not going to repeat that, but I'm getting that beautiful purple and lining up the spine, Kondo. So it's really important that you're working on chakra balancing. So if I were to scan your chakras, I get the heart and the solar plexus. And I did yesterday, I posted, or I think today I posted my YouTube video about crystal healing, and there's some stuff related to those 2 areas. Like yellow citron's really great for bringing in like money and happiness as well. But I think people sometimes forget that the heart and the solar plexus are best friends. And so if you're not feeling confident, it's going to affect your heart. If you can't breathe very well, it's going to affect your heart. So maybe just taking a few cleansing breaths and visualizing a line in your spine and all of your chakras being open. And so I would probably do more of a chakra meditation with you and opening up all of your chakras. So you might want to even just go underneath my meditations through YouTube and go through some of those. Same thing with the Theta healing. You might want to receive some of the downloads that I have. As well, if you want to be on my email list, just go to my link tree in my bio, and I'll put that in the comments as well. When you sign up for my email list, you get a unlisted YouTube video with a bunch of Theta healing downloads as well. It's just kind of like a little gift for wanting to be a part of my list. And then you can get some things that I have going on as well if you're not catching all my Facebook stuff, okay? If you're interested. All right, so if there's anybody else that wants a card or message, I feel like Heather asked. So we're going to go into Heather. I know Heather had a recent loss, so I am so sorry to hear that. But on the negative side is the loss, right? So you might want to watch the grief ceremony and any type of Reiki healing that I have online as well. Maybe go back and listen to the last couple of days of the Reiki healing and receive that as well. But the positive side, which is really hard to see when we're grieving, is when we do lose a loved one, they do support us from the spirit world, and having that support is like the most amount of love that you can actually receive, I feel. So as you breathe and feel into this space, inviting spirits and loved ones to come through and be there to support you and make you feel more loved and make you feel more whole and make you feel more safe and all of those other things. Okay, the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. Okay, so Heather, we get the full moon card. Makes sense, right? Because when we're feeling like our cup is full, there's nothing left to give. There's no energy left for others. It's honoring, again, that nurturing side that you have towards yourself. So it feels like you're going on a gigantic healing journey. So would you like to know that it's safe to focus on yourself and all the gifts of the healing world that's there for you, and that it's okay and safe to start receiving the healing that's available to you, free of cost? And if so, just say yes. So feeling in that love and abundance, just showering you with all these beautiful gifts. Okay, so one thing that's coming up is, thanks, you're welcome, is criticism, self-criticism. Sometimes when we're hurting, we reject love, we reject healing because we don't feel worthy, we don't feel deserving, we're too tired to care, it doesn't matter, nothing matters, right? And there's a balance between going numb, right? Numbing ourselves, closing ourselves off to all emotions. And then there's also that like frustration and the anger and the resentment and the negativity and the criticism and all that negative emotions that the full moon kind of brings up for us to release. So it feels like when you're ready to release some of these negative thoughts and emotions that you're having, that that life will come back to you tenfold, like that you will be able to receive when you're able to let go of any negativity. So these are choices. When we do full moon rituals as well, we want to make sure that we're not dumping every emotion that we have, because then by the time like the new moon comes in, it's like we just feel kind of out of balance. We want to pick a couple things that we want to clear and cleanse, and then we open up to a couple things that we want to attract and get back in touch with. The other thing that was coming up for people to discuss is routines, how to get back into a routine. And so that feels more what this card is related to, because I didn't know who that would be related to. And also, please let me know if you're watching and you have any back issues, because that wasn't addressed, and I'm feeling a lot of tension in my more low back right now. But like clairvoyance is coming up as well for someone. So there's a lot of stuff happening, but Heather, specifically, what I'm getting for you is if you don't feel like healing when you're awake, focus on healing when you're dreaming. So you can ask the universe to send you like love from a passed over loved one when you go to sleep at night, for you to have like that connection then, for any healing that you need to come through in dream state, so that when you wake up, you have more answers, you have more insight as well. I know for myself, when I go into my own Akashic records, I do that at nighttime, and a lot of transformation happens when I go to sleep at night. So some people don't like to do that, but that's how I choose to do things. So there's a lot of like the underground work that's coming up in terms of understanding the emotions and understanding the unconscious self and the underworld and past lives, and I guess life after death. Like there's so much. So if you're interested in learning more about anything that I'm speaking about, just let me know. I can maybe do a YouTube video on it about the underworld and what that means, the unconscious self and the unconscious behaviors that happen. Because again, this relates to new structure and new routine. Okay? Somebody needed to hear that. Suggestions are very welcome. They'll take as much help as needed. Okay, awesome. So yeah, if you want me to do a video on the unconscious, the underworld, I will, to help us understand a bit more about why we are the way that we are, why like Mother Nature heals us, like all the whys, because often I'll teach people to focus more on the how and what should I do. But in your circumstance, I'm getting it's okay to focus on the whys and start learning and understanding, because it can be really therapeutic and very great when it comes to our spiritual healing journey as well for ourselves. So guys, keep in mind, it's time to start nurturing ourselves first and then others, okay? That's really common in empaths to do. So would you like to let go of anything that's going on that's holding you back unconsciously, just as a general thing on all 4 levels. And let's replace that with trusting that you can forgive yourself and hold space for other people at the same time. So you can go through like forgiveness work, the shadow side, and then also open up to still caring about other people at the same time, that you don't need to like cut one off, that you can actually go through shadow work and still be available to love others and feel love with others, okay? So just say yes. And I'm seeing tons of flowers and throat chakra stuff. So would you also like to know that it's okay to heal any throat chakra blocks that are still lingering in there? And if so, say yes. And also what happens when people pass away, right after they pass away, that's giving me chills everywhere. There's a male and a female that's passed. That's here. way more than that, but just males and females right now, specifically. Sometimes they need rest after they've passed. So although they've crossed over, they also need time to rest. So just like after we've lost someone, we need rest. They also need rest, right? So that's why we say RIP, rest in peace, because that's really important. I feel like that they also get healing when they go over to the other side, and then when they're ready to, you know, do what they need to do, then they do that through love, peace, right? Whatever it is. So lots of healing coming through for people. So let's give everybody a general overall healing for love, health, and wealth. And let's integrate all that stuff that you said you want to release. You said you would like to start vibrating moving forward. Okay, so there's just too many emotions and too many thoughts going on right now with people, and I feel like maybe that's why they can't get clarity. So if you want to book a healing reading session with me, just reach out to me, and I'll let you know like how long it would be and the investment price with that, and the platform I would suggest doing it in. But I was getting like air balloon, someone in an air balloon that might mean something to somebody. But my symbolism for someone in an air balloon is someone who is not feeling grounded when it comes to like relationships. And go back to even the beginning of this and go back to that little grounding exercise we were doing. I was also talking about chakra balancing being beneficial. So again, go through my playlist through YouTube, and I have a crap ton of resources through there. That's where I kind of store all my stuff. So there's tons of healing in there that I would highly recommend for people to at least take advantage of. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to get out of everybody's energy. And we're also going to cut any energy cords around you as well. So if you feel like you're kind of attaching yourself to me or vice versa, or anybody else that now you're thinking about, just giving yourself a little snip from everyone else as well. And just notice when you kind of see scissors cutting all these energy cords with everybody, just creating closure for yourself. Just notice how that feels as well, because that's something you might want to continue to do. I listened to somebody's video yesterday, and they were talking about like how they don't like the word protection, and you don't need to cut cords and things like that. And it kind of brought something up for me, and I kind of wanted to respond and be like, well, do you not think that we need to sage either? And her point was to not be in a state of fear, right? So when we feel like we need protection, it's like there's something we need to protect ourselves from. Like there's negativity out there, fear. It's fear-based. But for me, for myself, I feel really good when I cleanse anything from the past that's not here in the now. So especially where today we were talking about being more present and how to be more present, how to be more in the heart space, how to let go of stuff going on in the heart. It feels important to let people know that we're not coming from a state of fear when we're cleansing at all. We're actually just inviting new energy in by letting go of old energy. That's it. So I guess instead of using the word protection, just grounding, cleansing is another great word. Letting go, releasing. And again, we all have different ways of looking at things as well, but that's just my perception right here today. All right, so thanks again for all the people who are taking time to like, share, and then comment that you did. Continue to develop that clairvoyance as well. So that's working through dreams, working with things like amethyst, doing more of those meditations and grounding exercises so that you can continue to open up to your intuition on a deeper level. You're probably psychic as well if you're watching this, because we all are. And so it's really learning how to develop the third eye connection. Okay, so trust what you're seeing, trust what you're thinking, trust what you're feeling. And if you need to get it out or you need to talk to someone, you know where you can find me. All right, so take care, guys. Have a great weekend.